welcome, welcome. This is Julie, and today is another Oh So Inspired collaboration hop. Each month we draw inspiration from a featured creator to make a project, and this month's featured artist is the amazingly talented Tina Smith from Cards and Coffee Time. I've been a longtime fan of her work, and her inspiration card immediately caught my eye with its vibrant colors, the gorgeous background textures, layered die cut elements, and a bold die cut sentiment. Be sure to check the description box below for a link to Tina's original piece, her social media, and the full hop playlist to see what the rest of the team created. We'd love for you to play along too, so all the details on how to join in are listed down below. Tina's card really inspired me, so I went digging through my stash of unplayed with goodies, and I found the Treasured Garden die set and the From the Heart stamp and die set from scrapbook.com, along with the library card stamp set from Creative Worship. I thought the library card print would make a fantastic swap for the grid background in Tina's card and just add a little bit of extra texture. Instead of strictly floral elements, I decided to bring in some butterflies as my main focal elements and then kind of tuck some flowers around the layout. And I also swapped out Tina's original orange tones for red. For this card, I die cut a bunch of floral and leafy pieces and some butterflies. I also tore a little bit of gray cardstock into two pieces so that I could layer it for a little torn edge. And I pre-stamped that library card and cut it into a tag and inked the edges with Black Soot Distress ink. I stamped a sentiment and I die cut it 3 times and layered it together for a little dimension. And I really love the idea of a angled layout, so I decided to bring in a die cut. The brick die cut is from Paper Rose, I believe. It's an old one from my stash, and I'm just going to angle that the opposite way of the tag. And I am just going to start building up my tag and layering the pieces. And when I see something that is how I like it, I am going to glue it down right then. I know that I want the red and the turquoise butterflies in opposing corners and my hello in the center of that. And then I am just going to tuck things in around, and I'm just going to make sure that I get that background kind of in there so I know where my boundaries are, because I want things to flow off of the tag, but I don't want them to flow so much that they don't stay within the boundaries of the A2 card base. So I am right now just going to layer those two pieces of torn cardstock together. I'm just adding some scraps to level out the two cardstocks so they attach flatly to the black cardstock. That is a 3 3/4 by 5-inch panel. And then I'm just going to glue down that little brick background. I just love the extra texture that it brings, and it kind of makes that gray area just kind of come to life. So once I have that down, I am going to finish auditioning my pieces and just continue to build things up as I like them. And I'm kind of struggling. I really like to have a color. If I introduce it, I want it twice, at least twice on the card. And I was having problems because I really want another piece of red, but those flowers are just a little too much for me. So I'm still thinking as I'm trying to build everything together and get those layers just looking how I want them. I am going to put this tag up on dimensional foam, and I decided that I need those black leaves not to fade into the background, so I brought in a little white pigment ink and I just sponged that lightly onto the edges of those leaves so that they can show up against the black background. And I'm getting a lot closer to where I want this layout, and now I've decided, okay, I'm just gonna put some little red hearts here because my sentiment has a heart in the in the note. It says a note from my heart to yours. And so I did swap out that white with the it was a turquoise hello, but I decided to go with the white because it felt like there was too much turquoise there already. So I like the contrast that is there now, and I am just really loving the way this is turning out. And I'm just gonna glue my last little pieces together, and then I'm going to add some foam to get that dimension. This is just 1mm foam, and I just cut it a little bit smaller than my tag, and I am just going to lay that down onto my panel and get it in place so that I have a better understanding of where I am and what I still need to do. I'm a very much like intuitive kind of creator, so I just kind of eyeball things until I like them. Now I'm just adding a little bit of foam in there underneath the little black leaves just to keep everything level. We don't want our leaves to bend into the design. We don't want deflated leaves. So once I do that, I am thinking about that white spot up at the front. I'm thinking maybe I should put something up top there. And I hadn't decided whether or not I wanted some ribbon to this tag. And so I added a little bit of a shadow layer to make that sub-sentiment really pop. And now I'm going to glue in those red hearts. And I still do need something, so I decide I want a little twine. So I'm going to make my card base really quick, make sure everything fits on there. And then I'm going to cut 2 lengths of that twine and tie them together in a double bow. And then I will pull out some black cardstock and add a little score tape to the back of it, and then die cut a little hole reinforcer from it so it's like a little sticker and makes it easy to place on my card. That way I don't have to worry about cutting a hole now that it's already down on my card, and I can just glue that bow down with a little bit of Fabri-Tac. It's like a strong glue. It takes a little bit longer to dry, so you want to make sure that it's dry before you start fussing with it. And I'm just going to put that whole card panel down onto my card. And nope, that glue wasn't dry yet. It does take a while, but I was able to stick it back down and it stayed. And I am just going to cut those twine tails and then kind of figure out how I can tuck them in, and then I'll add a little Fabri-Tac glue to secure them. There I just pulled out a heat tool just to get rid of those glue wispies that you sometimes get. I just kind of heated it so that it was easy to pull off. And there I'm adding the glue. And then I remembered that I had wanted to do some splatters on this card. It just felt like it needed splatters, so I pulled out just some cardstock scraps that I had just to use as little masks, just so I didn't get white ink everywhere, and I splattered on some bleed-proof white. And then off screen, I did some black as well, and that is our finished card. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Don't forget to click through the playlist in the description box below to visit all the other team members' channels and see their incredible interpretations of Tina's card. Make sure to head over to Cards and Coffee Time to give Tina some love as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.